Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And yeah, I am sitting here thinking about what in the world was I going to talk about tonight. I have had, oh my God, an insane week. So much stuff going on. Man, is it challenging trying to do what I keep trying to do? And boy, I keep trying to do it. And boy, they keep trying to stop me from doing my stuff. There is such a challenge in making something happen in this country, particularly in this state. Oh my God. But maybe I'm crazy. I just keep trying. In any case, I am here again. And the thing I want to talk about was I was thinking about something, and that was voter apathy. I see it so much as I travel the state, and you guys know I'm always traveling the state. And as I travel the state, one of the things I see constantly is people who've just basically just given up, who've said, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Can't work. Never going to work. Why bother, Larry? Why bother? I see that all the time. And even when people say they're going to do something, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to vote, do something, they're rarely doing it, at least in New York State. I don't know if that's true wherever you live. I hope most of you live here in New York State. But even when people say, I'm going to go do something, I'm going to go vote for Kathy Hochul, I'm going to go vote for whatever, Bruce, whoever, they always say, well, yeah, I got to stop the other guy. They're not saying, I love Kathy Hochul. They're saying, I just can't stand Republicans. I mean, that's why they're doing it. So even those who are taking action are doing it just to stop the other. There's an exception, which is what I really felt. And I've seen, and this is the part that warms my heart. I have had in these last several months so many disappointments. So many disappointments. More than I think I've ever had literally in my life. So many disappointments over these last couple of months. So many just disappointment and failures and disappointment and shock and disgust and just what is going, so much of it. And what keeps me going is when someone says something like, Larry, I'm voting because of you. I wasn't going to vote, but then I heard you speak and I'm going to vote. Or Larry, I love your idea on X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to go tell my friend to support you. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me going. Even when I see so much apathy, people just don't care, or just horrible backstabbing. I've been stabbed in the back so much these last couple of months. Seeing that happen again and again and again, that's what keeps me going. And that was the idea of voter turnout, right? Why does someone like Kathy Hochul openly insult Republicans? Just openly insult them. Just call them names, insult them, call Republicans anti-American, anti-woman. Why? Well, it motivates her base, right? Because the Democrats go, yeah, evil Republicans, we're going to go out and stop them. We can't vote for them because they're anti-American and anti-woman. Our queen tells us so. Why does Bruce Blakeman every 5 minutes yell, Mamdani bad, Hochul bad? Because he hopes that Republicans, yay, we got to stop the evil Mamdani and the evil Marxist Hochul. She's not Marxist, but whatever. We got to stop them. So we'll go vote to stop them. But where's the person who goes, oh my God, I love Kathy Hochul. Her ideas are amazing. Let me go vote for her. I mean, there are people who do like Kathy Hochul. You find them, they exist. But are they jumping up and down? No. She's motivating her base out of fear to do it. And so is Blakeman, motivating his base out of fear. But here's the problem. Both are doing it. So that now the situation is, it's not that I win, it's that the other guy loses, right? That's the win. The win is not me getting my life getting better. That's not the win, because that's impossible. The win is just stopping the other guy. Halting the other guy is the win, even though I don't make anything better. And I see it in upstate New York. And I spoke to some, what I would say, establishment Republicans today. That's what I'll say. Some establishment Republicans. And I asked them, I said, hey, don't you see the apathy? Don't you see people who just give up, who've given up, and they're like, I'm ready to leave. And they looked me in the eye And I actually said, no, I don't say it at all. I thought to myself, do you even talk to regular people? That's what I thought. I didn't say that was polite. I thought to myself, do you even talk to regular people? And you would even say that in New York State, when there are parts of my state where only 1 in 6 people vote. Said it, openly believed it. Blows my mind. So why do I bring this up? Because I saw something that happened to come out also regarding voting in Illinois and across the state, across the country. It's from CNN, and it's the guy Harry Enton, I think is his name. He's always talking about he's always doing the polling stuff. He's actually very entertaining and fun when he does it. And he brought up a piece, and I wanted to show this piece.
Settling over big primary elections in Illinois. We're going to talk about not who won, but who voted, because that may have a bigger impact nationally. With us now, CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton. So let's talk about what we saw in terms of turnout.
And he says, turnout, turnout, turnout. This is the piece that is what they're all looking at. The Democrats in New York State, they don't care who the Republican candidate is. It's irrelevant to them. They don't care. As long as their people get up, they win. That's how it works every time. Their people show, they win. So as long as Kathy Hochul says, well, you know, Blakeman is Trump, and we all hate Trump, right? And Democrats go, yeah, we hate Trump. So they all go out to hate Trump, then they win. That's what they think. That's their answer.
Democratic enthusiasm through the roof. They are so excited, they just can't hide it. What are we talking about? Share of Illinois.
This is the critical piece. This is Illinois, and this is New York. And here is what Republican strategists will tell you in New York State and Illinois and California. They're going to say things like, this is our year. See, everybody hates Democrats now. They hate Mamdani, or they hate Hochul. For those who don't know, Hochul has her highest approval ratings he's ever had. Ever. Illinois, Chicago's mayor is as bad, if not worse, than Mamdani. He's already been destroying the city. He's destroying Chicago so badly that the Chicago Bears are considering leaving. I'm not making that up. The Chicago Bears are considering leaving Chicago. He's wrecked Chicago so badly. Illinois is a basket case. By the way, I'm going to have a couple candidates on tomorrow to talk about that. But yes, that's how bad Illinois is. And what's going on? Democrats are excited to vote. You guys think often, well, Larry, you're not saying what they're saying, so you must be wrong. No, I'm right. I'm right. And Republicans in this state, if they believe that, oh, because Mamdani, because Hochul, now the Dems, no, they're more motivated to vote than ever. The more stuff Trump does overseas, the more Democrats can blame, the more they can blame tariffs on Trump. You've heard Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul literally has said, her words, not mine, you guys hear her. Kathy Hochul, my governor, has said, the reason why New York State has an affordability problem is because of Trump's tariffs. Now, is it possible that his tariffs are raising prices? Sure. But we've had a problem in New York State for 30 years. Trump's tariffs have only been in effect for a year. So even if he is affecting them, that's the problem. However, you might go, well, that's logical, so they'll get it. No, they won't. They will go, yay, we get to blame something on Trump, which is exactly what Hochul was doing, and Democrats are going to believe it. They're going to buy it. And what's going to happen? Yes, Democrats are going to buy it. They're going to come out in droves to stop the evil Trump tariffs, and that's going to save everything. I can see it already. Here it is happening in Illinois. Illinois is a basket case. Democrats should be fighting against everything. They had a terrible mayor before the one they got now. Johnson's his name, is that right? They had a terrible mayor before. She was horrible. So they said, well, it's great. So now they're getting rid of the lefties. They put another one in. Another one.
Midterm Democratic primary ballots. In 2022, Democrats cast 53% of the primary ballots compared to 47% of Republicans. Look at what we have in 2026. Hello.
Do you see the Democrats coming out in droves to vote? That's the end of Republicans if this keeps going. If Republicans can't find a reason for them to come out other than Democrats bad, which right now is the only reason, it's game for Republicans 2026. It's the game.
We're talking about Democrats casting 68% of the primary ballots with an estimated more than 90% of the vote, outvoting Republicans by a more than 2-to-1 margin. What was a very tight race.
Do you, this is the end. He's not making this up. This is the end. So yes, HVAC says the Chicago Bears moving to Indiana. That's right. Is it done deal? I knew they were looking at that. Is it already a done deal, HVAC? I knew they were supposed to, and it was like the number one choice. I didn't know if they pulled the trigger yet or not, but because Chicago's taxes are too high, Republicans in Iowa try to lure the Bears to our state. Yeah, absolutely. But again, it was way too late. They're already on their way out. So yes, Liberty Shamrock says Afro Man won a civil case. I know. I texted him already. Yes, I know Afro Man. I was on stage with him on Freedom Fest. What? 2-3 years ago, put in Larry Sharpe Afro. You'll see I interviewed him on his whole issue, on his, was it lemon cake? Was it lemon cake? Is that what it was? I forgot. Anyway, yes. So feel free if you guys want, type in Larry Sharpe Afro Man. I interviewed him on at Freedom Fest. So yes, Liberty Shamrock, that is true. He did win. I did text him congrats already. So that's amazing. So I do appreciate that. So yes. And Phil says Liberty Shamrock, that's awesome. After Afro Man won, I don't need to get high. It's true. I was going to have him on my show, but then I got high. So yes, some of you will understand that reference. Anyway, thank you for the $5. I didn't think they could have gotten worse mayor in Chicago than Lightfoot. Then Chicago said, hold my beer. Yes, Lightfoot was a terrible mayor, Andrea. You're correct. And it's Johnson, right? Is the guy's name? And they brought on Johnson, another terrible mayor. They went from one bad one to the next. Yes. If the system's broken, I'm trying to change it. That's the issue. So, yes, you're correct.
Race in 2022 in terms of primary ballots cast in the Illinois primaries became a blowout for Democrats in 2026. As I said, Democrats very enthusiastic.
That's the issue. And yes, Brandon Johnson, thank you. I knew it was Johnson. Yes. So Lightfoot to Johnson, bad to worse. We went Cuomo to Hochul. Bad to worse. And I still got Republican establishment people telling me, oh, no, this is the year. How is this the year? What evidence could you possibly have that would tell you this is the year without a coalition? I don't know where that is. I don't know how you could imagine that. And here's the worst part. And I know those of you who are big fans of Trump and Republicans, I know some of you are, he is spending so much time on the overseas national stuff, international stuff. He's not helping out here. It's not going to. Oh, excuse me. My nose itchy. I said this over a month ago. If you guys who are paying attention, I said this over a month ago. I said, Trump, they're not listening. If you care about Trump and you know him or want him to win or do better, get him to come home and fix his coalition. Remember I said that? That's what I'm saying. His coalition, not fixed. And here is your evidence of that. His coalition, not fixed. And here is your evidence of that. You go off and care about bombing Iran or whatever else you're doing. Okay, great. You want to bomb Iran, right? I mean, I don't think great, but whatever. You're going to bomb it. You're not going to stop because I say don't do it. But you still have to come back and fix your stuff here, right? That's already gone. Where's your mass immigration? You don't have an answer for that one either. If you don't fix your domestic issues in the long run, yes, foreign policy matters. Of course it does. Of course it does. In the short run, people vote on domestic issues in the short run, unless, of course, it's an exception, obviously. If Trump negotiates some amazing end to the war in some way where America can, have a parade and stuff, okay, that would change. Obviously, if he does that. Not looking that way now. And even if it does happen, you still got to come back and fix your house. And he's not. We'll see if he is. This is not good. This is not good.
I was just going to say, and that's what's notable here, because it can be indicative of enthusiasm, which can carry on over time. What are we seeing in terms of primary turnout for Democrats compared?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Phil. $2. Lemon pound cake. That's what it was. Lemon pound cake is catchy. Would Afro Man copy strike you? Yes, he would. He wouldn't have to. They would just do it. YouTube just does it. So yes, that's what it was. Lemon. Thank you. I remember it was lemon cake. I remember that. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, when the cops came in to his house, one of them took a piece of his cake and ate it. That's true. So he wrote a song about it, about the lemon pound cake. And he got it on camera. Like the cop said, "Oh, take a bite." That actually happened. So yeah, just a good story, whether you like that or not. So yes.
To the 2024 elections.
We're right now talking about Illinois, right? But now we've had 5 primaries this primary season. I decided to tally them all up. What share are Democrats making up of the votes cast so far? We're talking about 55% of the votes cast so far. Arkansas, Illinois, Mississippi, North Carolina, and Texas. Not many blue states on the board right there. A lot of red states. Yet Democrats are outvoting Republicans.
I would argue that's a mix of states. Illinois, clearly a blue state. Arkansas, is that Missouri or Mississippi? I think that's Missouri, right? Is that Mississippi? I don't know. No, Missouri's MO, so it must be Mississippi. So, and Texas, red states. But North Carolina, kind of mixed. Illinois, blue. That's a mix. And when all those mixes, look at that again.
Republicans, very much unlike what we saw in 2024, when Kamala Harris's vote share in those same exact states was 46%.
Yep.
So now Democrats are the majority of primary ballots being.
And this is the issue, right? There are 2 things to remember. Number 1, it's very easy to point the finger and be mad at an individual and to unite your people around one person. People like Trump are very easy to be like, we love Trump or we hate Trump. Easy to do. He's a big personality. Easy to love Trump. Easy to hate Trump. Easy to have big emotion against him. That's a good person to spin around, of course. Very easy. Not just that. Democrats are trying to create some type of hope. They haven't done it yet. But if they're able to come up with that, whatever the equivalent of Obama's hope and change things, whatever that thing is, Mom Donnie did it with affordability. He did a good job. He made that affordability thing work, right? Trump did originally with MAGA in 2016. And in 2024, he was going to be the peace president. Well, that didn't work out, but he was going to be that guy, right? All stuff he's going to do. People like, we're voting for something. RFK Jr., we're going to get the food stuff and the vax stuff. We're going to get that. So voting for something. Yeah. Andrea says, my voting place was empty. I live in a red area. Yes, Republicans are not motivated to vote. That's true. Why? There is a civil war right now in the Republican Party. This is kind of one in the Democratic Party too, but there's a bigger one right now. You see it everywhere. You see it online. You see it on everything, all over the place. You see it on CNN. You see it on Fox News. It's a civil war in the Republican Party right now. And it's making people feel like the party's broken. And when they feel like the party's broken, they don't want to be part of it. They're not jumping up and down. I see it in New York State. I see people just not caring, just surrendering, just giving it whatever. The worst part is people tell me, Larry, your ideas are great, but you can't win. I'm like, you told me that when I was running just Libertarian. And you told me if I went Republican, then I could win. So now I'm running Republican, and you still tell me that. Do you know how frustrating that is, Andrea? When I go back to the same people who say, run Republican, they don't support you. Then I'm Republican, and they don't support me. Do you know how disappointing that is? This is the final shot right here. This is it for New York State. Sorry, Andrea. Illinois, I think it's a basket case. I don't know. Well, it feels like it's a basket case. I hope I'm wrong. New York State will be within the next 4 years. It will be. It will be. So, yes. Thank you for that. Fail, thank you for $2. Blakeman, cope and give me your change. Yeah. Both. True. Lots of cope. That's for sure.
Cast and Kamala Harris actually lost cumulatively in these states to Donald Trump. So these are red states, and they are turning blue in 2026.
And this is a.
Now, why would these red states turn blue? Now, someone's going to go, well, that means there's more Democrats or Democrats are winning. No, more of them vote. So if you look at a state like Arkansas, Arkansas is clearly a red state. Is it possible for someone blue to win? Yes, if Republicans don't get out and vote and all Democrats do vote, right? If the state's 60-40, I don't know if it is, I'm making that up for sake of argument. It's 60-40 Republican and Democrats, but 35% of the Democrats vote, but only half the Republicans vote. the Democrats win, it becomes a blue state for that election cycle, right? It becomes that. This is what he's talking about. This is going to wind up happening. If the Republicans don't get their act together, and I hope for the Republicans' sake they will, if they don't, this is the future. I've been saying this for months. For months. And here's the worst part. Democrats still suck. Like they haven't come up with the right answers yet. They don't have the right name yet. They don't have the right person up front yet. If they find that person in the next 6 months, maybe the next 4 months, that person does not show himself or herself yet. If the Democrats find that person in the next 3 months, 4 months, it will be a blowout in 2026. If they find that person, Republicans will even lose the Senate. If they find that person and that message, they haven't yet. Democrats are winning basically via luck. They're not doing a lot of good stuff. And by the way, Chuck Schumer said this. For those of you who remember, Chuck Schumer said this. After Trump won in 2024, Chuck Schumer said, let's just do nothing. They'll screw it up. That's what he said. I'm not making that up. If you do your homework, he actually was like, that's our plan. They're like, what's your plan, Chuck? Nothing. We're just going to sit around, wait for them to screw up, and then they'll come back to us. That's what Chuck said. He said that publicly. Like, you can go look, and that's what he said. That was his plan. So you're the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. Yep. How are you going to stop Trump? Nothing. We're going to let him have his mandate because, again, even he knew Trump had a mandate. They all knew that. Like, you go, oh, you got the mandate. Let him keep going. He'll go too far, and then they'll come back to us. And our guys will be excited, and we'll win. His people will be broken because they won't get what they want. They'll feel broken. They'll fall into a civil war, and we'll pick up the pieces. That was literally his plan. And I hate to say it, it's working. That is how broken our system is. Our system is so broken, Chuck Schumer can say, let's just sit around and do nothing and wait, and then we'll get the House back. And it's working. Blown away by this. Blown away by this. And sadly still true. So, yeah.
Thing that I learned only from you, which is that when you're talking about turnout in a primary, how predictive is that in terms of which party is turning out more?
Watch this part.
You know, sometimes I'm academic, but I like to be in the real world as well. This is not just an academic discussion. Why is this important that Democrats are turning out in such large numbers? Because take a look here. National
Bingo.
primary turnout edge by party, then went on to win the U.S. House of Representatives that fall. In 2006, it was the Democrats. In 2010, the Republicans. In 2014, the Republicans. In 2018, the Democrats. In 2022, the Republicans. When one party outvotes the other one in primaries during midterm primary seasons, they then go on to win the House 5 out of 5 times. The fact that Democrats are so enthusiastic this primary season is very big news come the fall, because historically speaking, that means they have a very delicious fall. They go on to win the House of Representatives.
In what are the prediction markets thinking about all this?
Yeah, okay. So you see this, you see the primary votes being cast, right?
Yep.
What about the prediction markets? What about the cash?
84% chance, according to Kalski. Of course, they have a deal there, so who knows how real this is? Who knows? I don't know, but still, whether the percentage is accurate or not, who knows? But again, the trend matters. The trend is higher, so the trend is accurate regardless of whether the numbers are accurate or not.
Prediction markets, chance Democrats take the House in 2026. You go back to just before Election Day, 2025, Democrats had just a 58% chance. Hello, we're now talking an 84% chance, near record high for Democrats to take back the House, according to the Kalshi prediction market. Very much matching what we're seeing so far this primary season. Democrats are so enthusiastic. They just can't hide it. The same as I feel every single morning when I'm with you.
As Robert De Niro said in Untouchables, enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
I have enthusiasms.
Democrats.
It is true. Yes, it is true. So I'll let that go. That's all I wanted to show you from that piece. Voter turnout's critical. Wanting to vote for something's critical. When you see people wanting to vote for something, that's when they beat the establishment. And that's Democrat, Republican. When Obama beat the establishment, when Trump beat the establishment, again, left or right, doesn't matter. When you beat the establishment, it's because you're voting for something, not against. It's you're voting for something, right? When you saw Mamdani win, same thing. You're voting for something, not against it. And that's the issue. So I think it's important we understand that. Guys, before we move on, I'm going to grab a bunch of comments. But remember, click that like button if you could. I would appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing and you want this podcast to grow, I have to cut everything up because I'm running for governor. I've got to cut everything separately. It has been wrecking my numbers. It has been wrecking a lot of stuff the way I have to divvy things up and my time I have to spend on certain things. So help me out. Please, if you would, click the button known as Lima India Kilo Echo. It does matter. If you have not shared this already, please share it. It's very important to share it if you can. Every little bit counts. Every time you share it, it does matter. Please do so. If you have not already subscribed or followed this channel or wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on Rumble or YouTube or whatever, please click that subscribe or that follow. And one of those counts too. Again and again and again, each one so we can grow. Lastly, if you want to come see me, I am still running around New York State. It is insane. I know I don't stop, maybe because I'm crazy, but perhaps either way, I will be out there. Yes, I will be out yet again. Join me in New York, if you would, this Saturday, March 21st, 2 p.m. at the West Shore Inn Steakhouse in Staten Island, 6 p.m. at Sherwood's Beer Garden in Longmont, New York. Sunday, petitioning event, March 22nd. At the Neptune Diner at 9 a.m. in Bayside, New York. And we're heading onto the neighborhood to get some signatures so I can get myself on the ballot. We need a huge weekend. Last weekend was not as good as I wanted it to be. I need this weekend to be magical. So guys, get on out there. Help me out if you can. If you have not already signed a petition, please do so, obviously. But again, if you want to see me this weekend, you can. The downstate this time. Last week, I was upstate. This weekend, I'll be downstate. Next weekend, back upstate again. I'm doing North Country the weekend after that. So, again, last weekend, upstate. This weekend, downstate. Next weekend, upstate again. This weekend, I'm doing, again, March 21st, Saturday, 2 p.m. at the West Shore Inn Steakhouse in Staten Island. 6 p.m., Sherwood's Beer Garden in Longmont, New York, which, by the way, is in Westchester. And then Sunday, petitioning event in Queens. That's in Queens, March 22nd. Petitioning, 9 a.m. starting at the Neptune Diner in Bayside. Come see me so we can have a great time, get some signatures, and move this state forward. All right, so I think I covered all of those good days. Let's keep moving on if I could. I have a lot of comments. I want to try grabbing some of them because you guys give me a lot of comments. I want to go back and forth. Mike Voss is in the house. He's at this moment, I predict Senate stays Republican, 2 seats. The House is maybe +2 Dem. The big factor is the Iran war. Losses over 1,000 could shift to a blue bias. I think if the war isn't over, Mike, that's what I would say. If the war is ongoing by November, Republicans will take a bath. If Trump can't stop this war, look, Trump was supposed to stop the Ukraine war, and he was supposed to stop the wars in the Middle East, period. It's looking like he won't stop either. Now, I don't know if that's true. He has done different things in the past, and to be forward, I hope he does. I think the Ukraine war is going to end this year. I think it's going to end this year. Unless because when I said that last time, there was no Iran war. So if the Iran war is still going on, the Ukraine war can't end. You guys know why I've said it 1,000 times. You cannot have those Ukrainians and those Russians come into Iran and do that drone warfare. That would be horrible for U.S. and Israel forces. If those Russians and Ukrainians have no loyalty to either America or Iran or Israel, they don't care at all. Zero loyalty. They will go to whoever will pay them. And the Iranians will pay them. And so will the Chinese, by the way. So will the Chinese. The Chinese will be like, oh, wait a minute. You can send 10,000 drones and drone operators to crush Americans' military so we don't deal with them in Taiwan? Done. How much is that going to cost me? $1 billion? Is that it? You want that in won or rubles? What you want that in? You tell me what you want it in. Euros? I got you. Whatever. They write a check in a heartbeat. And I got 10,000, 20,000 Ukrainians/Russians who, again, will fight on the same side. They will not care because it's for cash. Mercenaries sitting in Iran, drone striking American Israeli forces. We don't want that. And no matter what you might think about this war, the last thing you want is thousands of casualties being blown up by drones like they've been blown up, Ukrainians and Russians. You don't want Americans getting blown up like that. I don't want it. I hope you don't want it either. So, yes, either way. So my argument, Mike, would be if the war is still going on, the Republicans take a bath. Trump has to end them, and in the best case scenario, end both of them before the election. And he's got to end both of them in a way where he can claim victory on both sides. And that is not an easy task. It's not. That is what I'm saying is not an easy task. However, like I said before, Trump's a deal maker. If anyone can do it, it is him. If it can be done. I don't know if it can be done. I feel like the Ukrainian war has to end because at one point, we're going to just stop giving them money. Like, we're going to stop. The Russians have been winning that war for about 2 years, and they're just slowly advancing, slowly. If and when the Ukrainians run out of money and stuff, that's when the Russians rush over them, whenever that time comes. It's got to come soon. America is just going to be like, I can't put money in Iran, and I can't put money in Ukraine. And the Europeans got to decide, do I want to keep putting this money into Ukraine while America is making exceptions for Russian gas and Chinese gas? At one point, the tap runs out. I think the tap runs out in Ukraine this year. I think it has to run. If that does, then the Iranian war has to end. Here's the end of the world, Mike, for American Israeli forces, the end. If the Ukraine war ends and the Iran war doesn't. Wow, I hope that scenario does not happen. That's a nightmare scenario. Because those Ukrainians and Russians are not coming on our side. They're not. That's not a thing. They're not coming on our side. They're not. They're going on the Iranian side. And the Chinese and Russians will ensure they will be. And we don't want that. That's a nightmare scenario for our troops. That is a nightmare scenario for our troops. So, all righty. Andrea, thank you for the membership. Andrew Cottingham is in the chat. I will be seeing him tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll be having him on my show tomorrow. A special Independence Drinking Coffee Live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll post it up later on tonight or tomorrow morning. You guys will all see that. So yes, that is great. Phil says, gifted 1 membership. Thank you. Andrea also gifting memberships. Guys, thank you. Adirondack, thank you for gifting memberships. Yes, and membership counts, guys. Please, the more the merrier. Please keep gifting them. Thank you so much. Grab those memberships. It's amazing. I know I have not done a members-only show in a long time. I know I have not. You guys see what I'm going through. I'm sorry. I will try to do one soon if I can. All you guys have been so good to me. I appreciate it. I will try to do a member show to have you guys all on as I've had in the past. I want to have my Phil's been on. So has Andrea. She's been on too. So we're going to try to get these guys on to the best of our ability. We'll see if we can make that happen. So, yes. Johnson says, hi, Phil. When are you taking your comedy on tour with Larry? Well, hopefully after I'm governor for 8 years. So I would say 2034 is what I would say. Because I could do it as a governor, I guess, perhaps. So, yes. All right. Oh, Mike goes on. Okay. I'm sorry. I just did one for Mike. Mike had a bunch. Okay. Let me just knock out Mike's real fast. Is he still here? Is he popping on stuff up? All right. Looks like as I scroll a bit that he isn't. So I'm just going to knock out these 3 of them if I can. Let me see. He goes on. He also goes, also many very socialist Dems, Katabu, Jasmine Crockett, etc. have lost. So a move to center for left. It's like happening. This right here, Mike, if this happens, this is bad for Republicans. This is bad for Republicans. And Republicans know it. Republicans love Jasmine Crockett. They love Mamdani. I'm not joking when I say that, guys. No, because that's the villain, right? Democrats have the villain always. Trump, orange man bad. Democrats always have the villain. Trump is the ultimate villain. He's always the villain. Orange man bad is always in perpetuity. He's going to be the bad man after he's gone. He's still going to be the bad. Oh, remember, he's a Trumpster. Democrats have that for a long time. They got the boogeyman. They already got their boogeyman. Republicans don't have that anymore. Biden's gone. Biden was one a bit. Harris was a little bit, but no one's as good as Mamdani. No one's as good as Jasmine Crockett. These guys are great boogeymen. So if you see the very socialist Dems getting booted, that's not a good thing for Republicans. How are they going to use Jasmine Crockett as a boogeyman? Now they got to actually go up against an actual like regular person who's not doing nasty rap videos in the middle of Congress, whatever. That's a whole lot harder race. That's a lot harder. So if that's true, that's not a good thing. And I think you're right. I think what you're saying is correct, and that's not a good thing. Michael's going to say, if Iran war is done, or effectively seems to be, by midsummer, Republicans will gain a boost. Agreed. Again, if he can do it. Here's the problem. There is a level of just straight anger at Trump in Iran, obviously, for what's happened. Of course, they know the same thing me and you know. Like, not like we're the only ones know this, right? They know that if he negotiates a peace and it looks good for America, that the odds of the Republican Party doing well go up, and as of him being more powerful go up. If I was them, I would never negotiate until after December. I would never, no matter what happens. As much as they would bomb, I would never negotiate. If it's me, right? Now, are they going to be as angry as I would be if you had blown up my people and if they had blown up our leaders? I'm not negotiating. I'm making sure you pay the maximum price. That's what I would do. So my assumption is Iran will do exactly the same thing. Iran will try its best to hold on as long as they possibly can, and no matter what damage is done, just suck it up, punishment, take it through November, and hope that the Ukrainians have to surrender in some way, shape, or form. That if I'm Iran, that's what I'm hoping, right? My hope is I hold on long enough for the Ukrainians to have to back out and make some kind of deal with the Russians, and then I get all those people float in with Chinese money. That's my hope. I don't know what other hope the Iranians have. Mike, do you see another hope? I don't see another one. That's what I'd be hoping for if I'm Iran. My goal, hold on as long as possible. Do not negotiate, no matter what happens, no matter what bombs hit, no matter what, do not negotiate. Don't do that. Make the Israelis and the Americans desperate to the best of their ability. Make them do something dumb or something stupid or whatever. Make them do something worse, whatever the case may be. Get the Russia-Ukraine war to end, and then I get those mercenaries into my crew, and I get Chinese money with it. That money comes, those mercenaries come with Chinese money, and depends on how Russia does it, maybe even Russian money. So why wouldn't I do that? I see no, if I'm Iran, I see no reason to negotiate at all. None. No reason at all. Don't negotiate. Decentralize my government to the best of my ability so that as the America keeps blowing people up, I can still survive. Localize as much as I possibly can, and just hold on. Hold on till I get the mercenaries. If they can hold on long enough, if Iran can hold on, they'll win this. If they hold on long enough. If they do, or they won't. This is what I'm saying. Making that negotiation is not going to be easy. If anyone can do it, it's Trump. Again, if it can be done, it's Trump who will do it. And if he does do it, you are correct. If Trump actually somehow ends both these wars by the summer, I think the Republicans could hold the House. Not even lose it, just hold it. They can hold both. They can hold the full government if he can do it. If I'm Iran, no way I'm doing it. No way. Bomb until it's just dust. I'm not doing it if I'm Iran. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, all righty. John's on gifting. Thank you so much. Ryan, new membership. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, guys, thank you for coming on board. Amazing. Thank you. That's awesome. So anyway, that's just my feeling. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see what happens. So, all righty. Phil says, anybody have any good Blake Hochul jokes? Keep them PG-13. That would be nice. I like that. There we go. Phil says, what's the difference between Blakeman and a brick? A brick has substance. True. I do like that one. That's a pretty good one. So, all righty. Let me see here. Rick Puss says, charge on Larry Quixote. Yeah. There's times when I feel like I don't want to, but I somehow keep going. There are times when I don't want to. If some of you may wonder, why don't people keep running or blah, blah, blah? Why is it one time and out? For those of you who've run, you know this. For those of you who haven't run, you may not. This is punishment. This isn't glorious. It's glorious when you are an incumbent and you have tons of money and a huge team and the press keeps talking to you. I've been doing this for 8 years and the press does not give a shit. Do you know how frustrating that is? I know them. I text them. Larry, you got to reach out. And that's what I get every time. Larry, you got to get your name out there. Oh, is that what I got to do? Brainiac, get my name out there? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't figure that one out. Oh, it was someone else. You got to go on Joe Rogan. I just call him up, tell him, hey, Joe, I'm coming on tomorrow. Is that how that works? I mean, I get it every day. Again, frustrating every day. Or people, you got to raise money. Did you write a check? No? Well, then, yeah, I hear that stuff all the time. And that becomes very frustrating for me also. I hear it every day. So that becomes a pain. And then, of course, people who say, I'm going to support you and then don't. Wow, was that frustrating. So there are days when I want to do this. And people who go into this, when they see it, they go, I just can't take all the negativity. I can't take all the disappointment. I can't. And they walk away. And I understand it. I feel it. I'm still human. I'm just insanely stupid. So I just keep doing it. But yeah, actually, I'm an ideologue. I just keep going because I want change so badly. that I keep pushing through stuff, even though it's terrible. But yeah. And then people always think somehow I'm somehow scamming somehow. $100,000 in debt my first run. That's a scam. I'm the worst scammer in the world. Don't take my scam. My scams suck because I'm getting hammered. $40,000 in debt last time. Boy, I guess I'm less of a bad scammer. I wasn't 100,000, only 40,000. So yeah, this time maybe I'll only be $20,000 in debt when I'm done. So I guess I'm 20 years from now, I'll be the greatest scammer alive. I just got to keep going. That's I guess what it is. So yeah. D says Republican echo chamber is willing to put not Republicans in wood chippers. They might not like what the other side says when they're back in charge. No, I agree. The problem is you do see a lot of echo chambers. For those of you who don't know, I have multiple YouTube channels, and many of them are actually in echo chambers. So I have a left-leaning one, a more right-leaning one, and the left-leaning one is all about how Trump is finished. It's the end of the world. He's done for. It's over. All the left-leaning bubbles saying that. And the right-leaning bubble is like, he's the greatest in the world, and he's the greatest president ever, and should be on Mount Rushmore. And so both of them are telling themselves stories within that bubble. It's got to be someplace in the middle, I assume. But yeah, I see it all the time. I agree. So Ryan says, thank you for $2. Never underestimate the DNC's ability to screw up. True. Oh, no, they're incompetent. Look, for those of you who lean more left or Democrats out there, and I see this all the time, the left will just blame Republican voters all the time. That's what they do. If you watch left-leaning media, left-leaning media, it's like, oh, stupid Republicans voting against their best interests. Why are they so uneducated? Why are they so dumb? That's what they will always say. And whenever Trump does something they don't like, see, you should have known better, dummy. It's just insult upon insult upon insult. And my answer is the same thing. If you're so mad about this, Mr. Democrat, okay, you could have fixed it. No, I can't fix it. These stupid Republicans that they always say that, right? Okay, great. All you had to do was have a primary in 2024. That's it. Have a primary. You have a primary, there's no coalition. Have a primary, no coalition. RFK Jr. stays Democrat. He doesn't go Republican. He stays. And you don't have terrible Kamala Harris, the terrible candidate she was. Either magically she becomes better, I don't know how, but in theory, the primary hones her to her being a better candidate, option one. Or option two, you don't get her, you get somebody else who's a better candidate who beats her in the primary. Then you got a shot. Then Trump is going to mandate, right? Trump might have still won, but he wouldn't have had a mandate. He got the mandate because of the coalition. He might have still won the election, but he would not have had the mandate with the coalition. And maybe if you had the right candidate, and if RFK Jr. had coalesced with him, you might have won the election. You might have beat Trump. It's possible. Who knows? But he wouldn't have got the mandate, which means he couldn't have done all the things he did. That you're so mad about. So whatever you might say, you could have stopped it. So the DNC screwed it up. Trump got the mandate because the DNC sucks. Now, again, he might have won the election, but he wouldn't have had the mandate except the DNC sucked. So it's their fault he got the mandate without question. So, yes. All righty. Shelly says, I'm hoping to get to Larchmont. People around me are scared to put their banking information online, so they're putting their money in envelopes. I'd live them. Oh, I appreciate that. HVAC says, I'm not excited at all. Many people aren't. I see Trump seizing ballot boxes in districts and states where Republicans will lose. Trump not accept the results of an election where Republicans lose. I hope you are wrong. I'm not saying, I don't know. Trump is saying a whole bunch of nutty stuff now. I'll just take Cuba. What's real, what's not, I don't know. I would have never thought he was going to stop bombing Iran again, but that happened. I don't know. All I can say is I hope you're wrong. I can't say that you are wrong. I hope you're wrong, because I do. That would be a massive constitutional problem. I hope that, yeah, that's all I can say. I hope you're wrong. So, all righty. Aisha goes on to say, where shortwave radio failed, social media succeeded. Conspiracy theories failed on shortwave radio. Conspiracy theories succeeded on social media outlets. That's how I went with Jay. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. At the same time, social media is like all types of media in that it is a double-edged sword. The more people know, the better, and the worse. Like, you get the good and the bad together. So I think that's true. I think both of those are correct. I agree. Absolutely. So I appreciate that. I do want to bring up something, if I could. Talking about people coming out. This is from people talking about Texas. And is it possible for Texas to flip and become blue? And they've been talking about this forever. Oh, Texas is going to become blue because Austin. Talk. Remember what I just talked to you about with Republicans not being excited? That would be a way that Texas could become blue. And again, it wouldn't be a blue state. It would be blue for an election. Only assuming Democrats are super excited and Republicans are super bored or disenfranchised, right? If they believe that. And so far, it does not look good at all. It does not look good. So I'm, again, not saying it's going to happen at all. I'm just saying it does not look good right now for this at all. It's not looking good. But there's a place where you can actually see what actually is happening. And who was talking about this literally like a month ago? Like a month ago, people were talking about this. And where were they talking about it? I think you know where. It's civil, of course. So this is an interesting one. This is from last month. This is a Reason Roundtable. And it's about a warning for the GOP. Will Texas turn blue? Now, they're not saying Texas will turn blue, but this is a conversation about what could happen, how it could happen, and what might happen. And is there a chance? Yes, there's a chance. I don't think it's going to happen, but could it happen? Yes, and that's the problem. If the Republican Party ignores this and does nothing about it, it could happen. I don't see that, but I think it could. This goes back to what Mike talked about. Jasmine Crockett, who's a Texan, she's not on the ballot anymore. Jasmine Crockett on the ballot? No way Texas goes blue because she becomes an easy boogeyman, right? Motivating Republicans to vote against her. But the other dude, I forgot his name again. The other dude, they have to make him a boogeyman. Now, will they? They'll try. Will it work? I don't know. But Jasmine Crockett was already a boogeyman, so it was easy day. This guy, maybe not. Here is a conversation.
So a Democrat just won a special election in a Texas district that went for Trump by 17 points, and the Democrat won by 14. That's a 30-point shift. Does this mean the Trump vibe shift is over? Welcome to the Reason Roundtable. This is your libertarian review of news and culture.
Is it libertarian? Kind of.
From the editors of Reason Magazine, I'm your host, Peter Suderman, and today I am joined by my colleagues, Catherine Mangu.
There's not a libertarian there. There's no libertarians there. Okay. I guess it's people who are acting like them. There's no libertarians there.
Matt Welch and the triumphantly returning Nick Gillespie. Woo-hoo. Happy Monday. Welcome back.
Thanks. Not sure it's triumphant, but, we'll see.
Let's make this a triumph. In fact,
and now you're going to have a nice conversation about it so you can see about what they think, why they think it, back and forth again. The glory of this is not going to just go, oh, Republicans bad, or oh, Democrats bad. They're going to have actual conversations. What does it mean? And that's what's good about civil. You get real conversations, real back and forth without the conflict machine. We're upgrading civilization. Go to civil, CIVL.com. Code is Larry10. Larry's the coolest name on the internet. Plus 10 for 10% off to join Civil. Check them out. Every single time I do a show, I'll show you something cool, something interesting, something that's happening. It's all on Civil. They're a sponsor of the show. Support if you can. Civil.com, CIVL.com. Code Larry10 for 10% off. We are upgrading civilization without the conflict machine. Again, something cool right then and there. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I appreciate that. Let me keep moving. All righty. Let's see here. D says, programming note, no 7 p.m. Sharpe Way on Thursday. AMA is Friday. Larry is traveling Saturday and Sunday. Yes, that's true. She is correct. There's no show. There will be a show to watch tomorrow. It will not be a Sharpe Way. It'll be a very special show at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow with a couple of candidates from from Illinois. On my show tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll check them out. Independent candidates. I know, kind of weird, but you see some of those. And then Friday we'll have an AMA. So we will have those too. Otherwise, I will be on the phone trying to make magic happen. But I don't know. Phil says Blakeman's copying our use of AI, but doing it bad. Of course. Yeah. Oh, look, here's the reality. They're all trying to copy. We have the best campaign out there. The media doesn't want to follow it, but of course it is. Yes. Ryan says, thank you for the $5, Ryan. On the turnout deal, the right will sit it out. I saw this play out in 2006. My mom was so disgusted with the GOP that she stayed home. Yes. See, Ryan, thank you for this. Oh, you guys who think, well, Mom Donnie and the communists or whatever. That's not enough. If other guy bad was enough in any non-gerrymandered state, we wouldn't have Mom Donnie, would we? All the Republicans did was Mom Donnie man bad. Trump wouldn't be president twice. They've been doing Orange Man bad for 11 years now. It's 2015. 11 years now, Orange Man bad. He's still president twice. You got to also have something. You got to get people like your mom to have a reason to go out and vote. Well, they don't. They just go whatever. They don't care. They don't care. And here's the worst part. A lot of people think, Ryan, that it doesn't matter whether they vote or not. It's not even whether they're excited to vote. I think it doesn't matter. Like, if I vote, so what? The amount of Republicans I see in this state who go, Larry, I love you, but it don't matter. You can't win. What? You said that when I was a libertarian. Yeah, you still can't win. It doesn't matter. Like, they don't think Blakeman can win either. The amount of people who tell me, oh, I'm just supporting Blakeman because it's the party. Okay, yeah, but he can't win. Oh, he can't win. Like, they say it. They literally tell me, oh, he can't win. He's not winning. Doesn't matter. All the time. They say it right to my face. I've had people say to my face, oh, Larry, if you won the primary, you'd be the governor. Oh, okay, so you're going to support me, right? No. Yeah. They just sit it out and then go, well, I'm sitting it out. Well, so why wouldn't the Republican Party change or Democratic Party change in the state? They won't. They just ignore it. Yes. All right. John says, I could be wrong, but I think J.B. Pritzker has dumped serious cash this cycle, not only on his own governor race, but down ballot candidates. Probably true, but it shouldn't matter in theory. What I mean by that is they're so, states like Illinois and New York, they're so bad. What are you putting your money on, right? There's no new policy, no new ideas. What's your money on? He's putting his money on Orange Man bad. See, Republicans evil. That's what he's putting his money on. He's hoping for his people to get out and vote because he knows if his people show up, he wins because it's so gerrymandered. Once the state is so blue or so red, that's when other guy bad works. When the state is so blue or so red. So here's the problem. My state is so blue. Mamdani bad doesn't work. Trump bad does. That does. So, yes. All righty, I covered that piece already. Grab a couple more of these if I can. John says, I didn't think it could get worse than Rahm Emanuel. Then we had Lightfoot, and it got much worse. Brendan Johnson said, hold my beer. Yes, and they keep doing it. And they just keep doing it. Yes, it's crazy. So, Jason says, anyone collecting signatures in Cattaraugus County? You, Jason. LarrySharpe.com. Print out, sign, have a Republican check, mail it in. You, Jason. Yes. Doc says, Dems always vote early. Primary here, Ohio is May 5th. Vote for me in CD5. Oh, there we go. Got them, vote for Doc. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, well, that also, by the way, is a sign of enthusiasm, right? Voting early is a sign of enthusiasm. Absolutely. Yes. Team Conahan here. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Good to see you. I'll see you tomorrow on the show. Excellent. All righty. Ryan says, I'm not voting in the Missouri primary because the GOP that run in Missouri are nothing more than rhinos, Trump bots. Perfect example again, Ryan. Yes. Perfect example again. Andrea says, some are saying Texas will go blue if the neocons keep getting their way. You are right. It's the year of the independents need to gain ground. I hope so. This is what will destroy us, Andrea, is apathy. That's the death knell for independence. Because independents to grow need to have people excited or they won't do it. Remember, getting up to vote is one thing, and then voting differently, that's another. So now I got double things I'm asking. It is hard. I agree. It is hard. So, yes. Ron in the house. They call Virginia blue state, crock of S. The Beltway and Richmond are blue. Most of the VA is red, but apparently they aren't voting. Thank you. That's New York State. Bronner, that's New York State. New York State is a massive red state with big blue splotches. Right? Illinois, a big red state with a blue splotch up top. So, yes. Virginia, big red state with a blue splotch near D.C. Yes. But the problem is that those blue splotches have a whole lot of people in them and a lot of votes. So that sounds great, but if the red guys don't vote, it becomes a blue state. That's the issue. I have parts of my state where only 1 in 6 people vote. 1 in 6. So 6 are eligible, perhaps 4 are registered, and out of those, 1 votes. That's how bad it is. So if I got 6 eligible, 4 registered, 2 didn't bother registering, 4 register, 1 votes. That's how bad it is. So of course you can't win. You can't win. Nobody votes. I'm with you completely. Yes, absolutely. All right. D says, saw how Duval establishment GOP did Eric Parker dirty as the LP and how they treated the conservatives who supported Eric. A few people told him to run as GOP. I feel like they would do the same. Yeah, it wouldn't matter. And I found this out the hard way. By me shifting, I found that the establishment still hates me. Doesn't matter. If you're not establishment, you're not establishment. If you're not part of the patronage system, if you're not part of the grift system, you're not one of them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I became a Republican, and would that get me? Nothing. Nothing. Everyone told me, oh, Larry, do this, and you'll see. What happened? The same people support me, and the same people screw me over. It's changed nothing. I tried to do a coalition in 2022. All I got was backstabbed. Changed nothing. Run Republican now. What's changed? Nothing. Just getting backstabbed again. No change. No change. Grift or get out. Be part of the establishment, the patronage system. Don't try to change shit or get out. Miles just run libertarian the whole time. What's the difference? You know what the difference is? Here's the difference. If I run libertarian only, one difference. I get backstabbed less. I still get backstabbed by libertarians who just want a virtue signal and don't care about anything except virtue signaling. So I'll still get backstabbed. That's going to happen. The question is, do I get backstabbed less? Yeah, because there's less libertarians. And they don't have any power. So the backstabs aren't as strong and there's less of them if I just run libertarian. But I still get backstabbed. But the same people supporting me, same people screwing me. I got screwed by Democrats, Republicans before, screwed by Democrats, Republicans again. So yes and yes. Absolutely. So, all righty. Let's see here. Phil says, Nina Infinity. What? Is that someplace? Is she here? I love Nina. She's been on my show more than once. I've gone on her show. I love Nina. She's amazing. I think she lives in Mexico? I think that's right. Nina Infinity is awesome. Love her to death. I hope you're watching, Nina. I'm going to look and see. I love her. She's amazing. She's smart and savvy and fun. You can't always find that. And nice on the eyes on top of it. So you get all of those things together. Nina, killing it. Happy you're around. So Ryan says, thank you for $5 on the Turnout. She said this right. Okay. Next one. I'm sorry. Next one. Chicago is run by incompetent career politicians. St. Louis holds beer. Amateurs. St. Louis is a ghost town. Yes. They wreck it and then they keep coming. That's the problem. They just keep coming again and again and again. So, yeah. Anyway, I keep going here. Edironic says, I like Hochul's latest joke, begging wealthy to come back to New York and get taxed to pay for a general social plan. It's hilarious. I wish it was a joke. The thing that I like about this is she actually said it out loud. And I do like that. I do. I'm not joking when I say I'm not being facetious. I'm glad she said it out loud. She has acknowledged things that no one else before her has acknowledged. The thing about Kathy Hochul now is, and this is going to, it sounds like I'm going to be praising her. I'm not really praising her. It's her team. Kathy Hochul now has a honed team. Probably a bunch of people who from Cuomo, a bunch of other people who've learned lessons. Her team is a very savvy team. I don't think Kathy Hochul is exceptionally intelligent. I'm not trying to insult her. I'm just being very forward. I insult her for other reasons, not for that. But I don't think she's exceptionally intelligent. She's not like, a genius or anything. She's just a regular person. But her team is very savvy. Her team manipulated the Mamdani voter just enough for her to keep that. They knew exactly when to endorse and how. Well done. That was perfect. Just enough to crush Delgado to get him out and to get her back in. And now, if you've noticed, now she's saying some of the quiet parts out loud. Why? Because now Blakeman can't touch her on it. Because the Blakeman goes, you did this. She said, no, I'm talking about it. I'm fixing it now. So now she's saying that. She's now talking about fixing things. She's taking the Mamdani model of, I have this free buses, see if I fix something. Now, Mamdani can't do any of that, but that's okay. We're talking about running an election, right? So election is just marketing. You're not going to do any of it. But so he marketed himself amazingly well. She's copying that now. So she's talking now about the wealthy for being good and social programs that matter. See, I care about you. I'm trying to fix things with social programs. Most people in New York who are leaving see social programs or welfare programs as bad things that harm people and just suck off the taxpayer and people. At least that's how they see it. That's why they leave. But Democrats who see it, Democrats see, and we talked about this in the show before, Democrats see taxation as virtuous. You might go, but I'm not a Democrat. I know, but most New Yorkers are. So New Yorkers who are Democrats, they see taxation as virtuous. That's how they see it. So when she says, hey, rich person, you should be virtuous, give me your tax dollars so I can service New Yorkers because I love and care about them and give them these awesome social programs. That spin is a very effective spin for the average New Yorker. How do we know that? Because her approval rating is still high, even though New York sucks. I tell you guys all the time, rhetoric matters. It's politics. Rhetoric matters. Nice rhetoric goes far, particularly when you have an election this year. It goes far. Hers is, it goes far. She's not losing. Every poll, she's beating Blakeman by 15, 20, 25 points. Every poll, every one of them. So, yeah, I don't think it's a joke. I think she meant it, and I get it. I get it. So, yes. All righty. Let's see. D says, it's frustrating seeing that trash as a social media manager, that clout jacking. Yes, I agree completely. 100%. People trying to copy, they always do. So they always do. There we go. All righty. Kaiwan says, Donald Trump makes the greatest mistakes. That's like Alexander Hamilton, Tommy, and Thomas Jefferson, but he's going to burn out soon. I feel because of deal maker. This is the point. I get you. I have been, if you remember, I spoke about this last year when Trump became the president last year. I said my worry was because he had the mandate, he would go too far, right? That was my worry. I can do whatever I want. He's talking that trash now. Remember today, he's like, I could just take, or was it yesterday? I can just take Cuba, do what I want with it. I can bomb Iran for fun, whatever. He is like, I can do whatever I want. I got a mandate. I get it. I understand it. And it's a mistake. It's not the right answer. It is a mistake. My concern for those of you who love Trump is that he is Napoleon in Russia, meaning he's had all these years of successes and wins and victories. He snatched victory from the hands of defeat so many times. He thinks that they can stop him, and here comes Russia, and that's going to stop you. And that might be Iran. That might be. Again, we'll see. To Mike's point, if he can end this war this summer, it goes away. He's the man. If he can't, and again, if I'm Iran, there is no way I'm ending this war until December. No way. No matter what happens, if I'm Iran, no matter what you bomb, no matter who you bomb, nothing until December. That's what I would do. We'll see what the Iranians do. Maybe they're not as aggressive as I am. Maybe. Bronner says, both left and right blame me. Why? Because I don't vote. I don't like playing games. I know I can't win. Well, let me give you the response. I think it was, hold on. It was some libertarian like philosopher type. Some egghead academic. I forgot which one it was. But he said voting is imagine voting in America. It's like you're in a concentration camp. And you get to vote on who's going to be your Nazi guard, right? Who's going to be your prison guard. Now, either way, it's bad. Like, no matter what, it's bad. And no matter what, you're in a concentration camp. But if they give you the option to whether it's Hans or Fritz, who is it? And Hans is horrible and a monster. Fritz is, a little bit less, still a monster and horrible, but not as horrible as Hans. Do you vote? Do you say, I'll take Fritz? I'm only beaten twice a day instead of 3 times a day, or whatever is the horribleness. Do I do that? And people could say, yeah, you know what? I'll take Fritz and I'll just get beaten twice a day and not 3 times a day, versus Hans, who I get beaten 3 times a day. So is that a win? I don't know, but that's the concept. That I forgot who that was. It was some libertarian academic who made that analogy. It's not a bad analogy. I mean, it's kind of harsh, but I guess for that it is bad enough. Anyway, it's a fun analogy. Fun. Okay, it's an interesting. I changed my words. It's an interesting analogy. How about that? There we go. So, all right. Lunatic, thank you for $10. Larry, abandon all principles and be a politician. All centralized systems are failed. Lunatic, I'm going to be very forward with you and everyone listening. I have thought of that. Of course I have. Of course I have. Do you know how much money I could make if I just sold out to the Republicans, Democrats? In a couple years, 7 figures. I'm not joking. That's not an exaggeration. Probably that first year, good high 6 figures, easy. After that, 7 figures, easy. I could sell out. I get offered all the time to sell out. At least every couple of months, someone has offered me to sell out. At least, sometimes more. Depending on what I'm doing, how active I am. Hey, Larry, come over. What are you doing? Here's how it works, blah, blah. And they're all legal ways. No one's telling me illegal stuff, right? It could be unethical, but none of it's illegal. There are many legal ways to sell out. I could do it. I could become this, become that, change this, change that. I get it all the time. Are there times when I think about it? Of course I do, man. I'm human. Of course I do. My life would be a whole lot easier if I just sold out. And that's why people sell out. People sell out because your life is easier. It works. They don't sell out because it's harder. They sell out because it works. Your life becomes easier. That's why people sell out. So have I thought of it? Of course I have. I'm still human. Of course I think about it. I just haven't done it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe there's a number they could give me, but the problem that we have, Lunatic, is the number I would need they're not prepared to give for me to sell my soul. It's just, my soul is for sale. All of them are. The question is, what's the number or what's the thing? It hasn't happened yet. So maybe one day I'll sell out. You'll know. If all of a sudden I'm like, the system's awesome and boy, go Republicans and the GOP's great. If I start doing that, that's okay. They got him. They gave him the number. Okay, Larry. Hope you enjoy your second house in Florida. Enjoy. Whatever. You'll know what happened, right? You'll know. You'll be like, I used to like that guy. Good luck. I hope you like your vacations in Europe. Enjoy. So I guess you'll know. But you're not wrong. But I'm still human. I still think it. I still feel it, right? I sometimes say the quiet part out loud. I do. So yeah. All righty. Let's see here. I'll grab a couple more of these. Okay, this one already. All right. Where am I? Andrea says Blakeman's campaign styles like a glass of room temperature water. It's technically what you asked for, but it's remarkably difficult to get excited about the flavor. True. Yes. Absolutely. Dominic says, I already sent my letter with my signed petition to you through USPS. It should arrive in your mail address soon. I contacted Queens GOP for an open primary to you. But thank you, guys. Dominic, perfect. Perfect. What I am saying for you guys, reaching out to your local GOP and saying that you want a primary really does matter. For those of you who are in New York State, please do so. The email or the text or the whatever, letter, whatever, it does matter. Yes, absolutely. All righty. Where am I? Hold on here. Okay. Okay, that works. Okay, I got that one down. I'll keep going down here if I can. All right, I want to grab some of these if I can. All right, Adam says, hey, Larry, I highly recommend you let people know to double check the rules and send your instructions for your position on your site. I've been notified by the Rochester business have severe issues. Is that right? Please let me know what those issues are, but I'm not that concerned. Yes, but I'm not that concerned. Here's the issue for you guys knowing. Obviously, please follow the rules. They are on the website. Please follow them. But if you have an issue, just get me signatures. What people don't always know, Adam, is you can fix signatures. That's legal. You can. So if you get them to me and we have them, we can remedy them. There is a legal way of doing that, right? Calling the person up, seeing what's going on. There are legal ways of remedying petitions. But if I don't have enough signatures, it is irrelevant. So key is getting the number of signatures first. That's key. Remedying them later on is fine. We'll deal with those issues. I don't want anything that would slow people from giving those signatures in, right? We have to have a great weekend. I would rather have thousands come in this weekend and a bunch have to be fixed, right, than only a couple hundred coming this weekend. That would be the end of the world, right? So I get what you're saying. I appreciate that. Let's get them in. I don't want to slow anybody down. So yes. All righty. I think we're good on that one. Okay. D says, I love when Larry dunks on a reason. Yes. Rick Pa, Catherine Mango Ward claims Benega. She literally says she doesn't like libertarians. Her words. Literally said it. Yes. She actually said it. So, yeah. All righty. 6022 says, Republicans didn't even do Mamdani man bad. They did Cuomo man less worse. True. Yes. Absolutely. 100%. So he says, can I pay a Republican to get signatures? And if so, what's the going rate per signature? All right. Can you? Yes and no. You cannot pay a Republican per signature. Can you pay someone an hourly fee to do something for you? You can, but you cannot pay. New York State is against the law to pay per signature. So, Shelley, you may not pay per signature, but you can pay per hour or time or things like that, right? You can find other ways, but you may not pay in New York State per signature, but you can pay other ways. You can if you want to. Yes, that's possible, but you may not pay per signature. New York State has made it as hard as possible to do this. They made it as hard as possible. To be very clear, New York State does not want anybody else on the ballot but their people. That's it. No, accept that. That's all. So yes. All right. All righty. Little Frog says, midterms were my last time investing any time in the GOP. I can vote for good reps as a libertarian. The way GOP is happening. Yes, I agree. A lot of people are just, yeah, I'm with you. Yes. All right. Kaiwan says, hey, Larry Sharpe, is Nick Fuentes' vote blue thing going to hurt Republicans? I think it's going to hurt the Republicans that Nick Fuentes said vote blue. Yes. And here's why. Do I think a bunch of Republicans now are going to vote blue because Nick Fuentes said so? No. Will there be some who love him and will? Yeah, there'll be some, but it will not be a large chunk. It will be a small chunk of people who really do support him and they follow him and they'll do what he says. But that's not a big chunk. It's a small chunk. So in places where the election is that close, that would affect those elections directly, right? In a place where it's very close, he would affect those elections if it's very close. If it isn't very close, it will still, but not crazy. Not crazy. The difference is what it will do is it will create voter apathy. If that makes any sense. When it looks like your team, red or blue, is in disarray, that makes people feel like we're not all together rowing in the same direction. And a lot of people decide to not join in. That happens often. They go, you know what, I'm not. So you will have voter apathy. That's true. So what Nick does is two things. One, there is a small percentage that will do what he says when he says so. That percentage will come off. And yes, that will hurt Republicans. But again, depends on how close the race is. It's got to be super close. If it's a super close race, like 51 to 49, yeah, it's possible. But what it will do is there will be people who would have eagerly gone out because Nick said, go out, we're going to win. This is the Trump year or whatever. A lot of those people are going to be like, oh, blue. I don't want to do that. I'm staying home. I'm not going to bother. And of course, a lot of his people who watch him are younger, and younger people already don't vote very much. If they're not excited, they ain't voting. And what Nick is doing is he's making them not excited. So again, back to my other issue. You can see it already. You're seeing it manifest stuff in what I showed you earlier. Democrats are excited. If any of you watch any left-leaning YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, or whatever's your thing, Instagram, whatever your thing is, it's full of young, excited Democrats. Full of them. I mean, and they're getting massive views all over the place. Massive, is filled. And they're all on the same page. All of them are all on the same page. Orange man bad, war bad, orange man bad. They're all on the same page. That is a big reason why the Democrats are excited. The Republicans are all over the place. The Republican pundits have become either propaganda or gossip. Their propaganda is whatever Trump says is right. Yes, it's propaganda or gossip. Oh, what did Candace Owens say? Oh, what did Nick Fuentes say? Oh, what did Tucker Carlson say? Now they're becoming gossip. That makes people not feel good about the movement of the party. And that is one of the reasons why you're having a lot of Republicans not excited. And I would ask you, what's the new exciting Republican idea to fix anything? There isn't one. There isn't one. Trump had a bunch of ideas. He's put them into place already. People aren't happy about it. Now we're at war again. Democrats don't have ideas either, don't get me wrong. But now they have it. Democrats are going to do something else, like they're going to regulate AI or whatever is their dumb idea, like free buses, whatever. They're going to have some idea. And again, as you hear me say all the time, when you have no idea or a bad idea, you take the bad idea. That's what happens every time. We see it every time. So I hope I answered your question. Tim says, I have a few sentences for you. I have to say, though, it's been difficult. Most I've asked are independent and can't sign. Yes, it is hard getting signatures. It is. You have to go to the right place where you know Republicans are. And that is not easy to find in New York State. Remember, only 23% of voters are registered Republicans. There aren't that many of them out there anymore. It'd be in certain areas where people, but it's not easy. I agree, Tim. This was way harder than I thought. Way harder. It's way harder. So no one's doing it. This is why I'm the only guy doing it, Tim. I'm the only guy doing it because who else would do it? This is a backward, anachronistic system that, again, I say all the time and I'll say it again. Our terrible, embarrassing, disgusting, disappointing judges in our state just don't care and just go, great, leave it. We don't care. Constitution, what the hell is that? Oh, that thing I said that I took an oath to? Oh, I didn't. That's not a thing. I just made that up. That's not real. They don't care. Oh, your rights don't matter. I don't care about those things. I care about me staying in power and the political structure that keeps me in place. That's all I care about. I'm a judge in New York State. That's all I care about. The rest is just all secondary. If I can help people, fine. But my job is all that matters, and the system is all that matters. Our judges support the system, not the people. It's probably true throughout the country, but I don't know the country. I know New York. It's probably true in other states also. But in my state, our judges support the system, not the people. The people are irrelevant. They're in the way. Why are people getting in the way? We have the most terrible laws that crush people all day long, and judges do nothing about it. Not a thing. If you're a judge, you're supposed to protect us from the empty suits in Albany who make terrible laws who crush us. They don't. They go, well, you passed the law. I know, and it's a garbage law. It's the system. I know the system sucks. Oh, well, guess you suck. You wonder why everyone leaves. Yes. All right. Grab a couple more of these if I could. Lunatic. I have your stress relief remedy. Just accept my offer, and you will sell to the governor's mansion. I can be very, very. Why you always get me in trouble, Lunatic? Why you always get me in trouble? You get me in trouble. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. But I will pass. But I appreciate it. I am trying, and you see, I am smashing my head against the wall, you see, to avoid certain types of activities. I would like those activities to not occur, so I'm trying to make it so they will not occur. That is my hope. That is what I'm trying. Thank you. Robbie 2026, thank you for the $5. We need a strong third-party movement in this country. Libertarian, Greeno. I agree. The problem is I can't get people to care. I have all the money in this country, all the money in this state. If one wealthy person, just one, would put $2 million in a PAC for me, and I've said this to people, and they agree, and they won't do it. With $2 million in a PAC for me, I would get the Green Party line and Libertarian Party line this year in this state. So you'd have actually 4 candidates on the ballot for president in 2028. It's a fact I would do it. I know I could. The Greens know I could. They've already agreed. If you could raise the money, we'll do it. I can't raise the goddamn money. I can't raise it. Everybody who's wealthy who I know either says one of 3 things. Larry, doesn't matter. Why are we doing it? 1, even though I explain, they don't care. Or 2, I'm not doing it now. I can't get involved now. There's no other fucking year. But they still do it. They've got some excuse. They wouldn't do it before. Now they won't. Whatever reason. I get it all the time. They won't do it. I did it before. It didn't work. So you go back to the old ways? That's the worst. Larry, I believe you in 2018. You didn't win. So you're going back to the old ways? Well, yes, because I'm obviously don't have, that's all I can do. I don't know any better. Constantly. Or the other one, which is, no, we got to get behind Blakeman or get behind Kokel. We can no, you don't, but they do. They do. It is so frustrating, Rob. So frustrating that I know that if they just put in a PAC to get me on a ballot, how do I know that? I did it before. There is no one, and when I say no one, there is no one else in this state that polls the independent as high as I do. The person does not exist. Does not exist. If I go on an independent ballot, I get ballot access. That's how it works. Just get me on a ballot, I'll have ballot access. That's how it works. I know this. Get me on the ballot. I was on a ballot one time. I got ballot access. That's how it works. So the point being, and you would think a judge would think this, wait a minute, Larry. So when you're on a ballot, you get ballot access. Therefore, you are worthy of being on the ballot. Yes, asshole. Yes. And they go, no. And don't care. And don't care. You answered your own question. The fact that I have already gotten ballot access should tell you I deserve to be on a ballot. Right? Nope. Rules changed, and we don't care about you or the people. We just care about the stupid system, so we'll throw you off a ballot. Of course. The norm. That's how it works. Again, and they don't. The worst part is, Rob, is you're supposed to be a judge in theory. So you would judge things. And if you go on, and you've been in a jury, they will tell you, a judge will tell you, you are supposed to use your experience, your intellect, your everything to make a decision. They tell you that as a juror. As a juror, you're supposed to use your knowledge, your experience, your background, use all of that to make a judgment. They tell you that. Okay, asshole, will you? No, they will just follow the law. If you're just going to follow the law, I don't require judges. I'll get an algorithm and I'll fire all of you. And we'll just have algorithms. Because algorithms don't judges, they just follow the rules. So give the algorithms we'll pay nothing on robes. Save a lot of money, no salaries for you. Get rid of all the judges, put in algorithms, and you're gone. You should, as a judge, go, wait a minute. This is clearly unethical. This is clearly wrong. I'm a judge, so I get to judge that. Larry, you should be on a ballot. On a ballot you go. And here's the worst part. What's their punishment? They're judges. They don't get removed. It's not a thing. Anyway, you got me all going. That's your fault, Rob. That's your fault. All right. Memberships, guys. Thank you so much. Gift to memberships. Phil, Andrea, Adam, thank you. Ryan, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it tremendously. Thank you so much. Yes, Lunatic, I got you to smile on my B-Day good enough. I'll take it. You always get me in trouble. All right. We got some shows we got to go on, Lunatic. I'm talking to my people about it. We're making it happen. Just give me some time. We're making it happen. I haven't forgotten about you. Just got the world crashing all around me. But yes, thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. All righty. Massman says, maybe Republicans should stop focusing on illegal voting and stop focusing on legal voting. Oh, I like that. But then again, if you do that, right, then you actually have to have like plans and stuff. And see, it's much easier to just use lawfare. It's way easier to do that. Lawfare works a whole lot better. I agree with you, Mastermind Hour. It's just not effective. You know what I'm saying? Lawfare, much better. So, all right, let me grab a couple more if I can. All right, you covered that piece already. I get that. All right. Adirondack says Hochul campaign is pushing Blakeman equals Trump. Yeah, they're dropping. And here's the thing you would think that the Republican Party would realize. And this is how broken the Republican leadership in New York State is. You think they'd realize this? Hochul is spending millions, with an S, millions of dollars right now campaigning to say that Blakeman equals Trump. Blakeman is not even trying to stop it. Blakeman thinks that's a good thing because Trump's a popular president. This is what Blakeman honestly believes. Insanity, utterly not true in New York State. In other states, true. South Carolina, true. Oklahoma, true. Not true in New York. Demonstrably not true in New York, right? But, so he's not even fighting him. So she's dropping millions of dollars in that. If I win the primary, all that money she's spending is in the garbage. Yes. If I win the primary, millions of her dollars are in the garbage. She just spent telling everybody that Blakeman's Trump. All that money's gone. She blew that money. Not just that her team isn't looking at me. Her team is going, this Larry Sharpe guy, he's going to win, so let's get up. No, she's not doing that. So now her entire team has to reboot. We saw that happen. We saw how tough it was for Trump's team to do it. Remember when Trump had to do it when Biden got left out and they threw up Harris? Why was Trump so pissed? It took over a month for the Trump team to shift. They were all on Biden bad. Let's get Biden. If you remember when I was talking about this, how all of a sudden the Trump campaign seemed to be weak for like a month or so. What? They're making a shift. You got to make a total shift. You've got everything focused on Biden bad. Now you got to make a total shift, turn it and go to Kamala bad. It still worked, don't get me wrong, but it was a month of pain that the Trump campaign had to deal with to make that shift. Well, I win a primary. You have a month now of now them having to shift the campaign. And you can't use Larry Sharpe equals Trump. That doesn't work on me. That doesn't work. You can't do that with me. So Orange Man bad doesn't work with Larry Sharpe. The New York State GOP knows that and still won't do anything. If you're a Republican in New York State, you should be embarrassed by your leadership. You should hate them. You should be mad at them. You should realize how much they don't, because they hate you and they don't respect you at all. What I just said, they know. You know. Everybody knows. I'm not saying this, no one else knows. It's utterly true. She's dropping millions. She openly said it. She's dropping millions of dollars on Blakeman equals Trump. You see it, Adirondack. I see it too. Millions, maybe $4 or $5 million. She only got 20. She has $5 million on Blakeman equals Trump. Then I win the primary. All the money's in the garbage. She's starting with a $5 million deficit now. Done. $5 million deficit off the bat. You want to win this state? I just gave you a $5 million deficit just by my name. And her team only knows Orange Man bad. Well, what happens when I'm the Republican nominee? You can't use that anymore. You can actually have some ideas. They don't know how to do that. They have no idea how to do that. They haven't done that in years. They haven't done that probably since, 2000 maybe? Since like Al Gore. It's the last time Democrats tried to have an idea. They haven't had one since. So you are correct. Yes. Bona says, government is in reality established by the few, and these few assume the consent of the rest without any such consent being actually given. Yeah, I think it's true. The consent is assumed. Yes, absolutely. So, all righty. Here, Phil says, Joel, you're right. They just dropped millions of dollars to compare, but yeah, just happened. Yes, absolutely. That's what just happened. You're absolutely correct. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. I went down that road already. I grabbed that one. I appreciate all these guys. Yes, I appreciate that one. You guys are going back and forth, I guess. All right. Okay. Brona says, I think the Repubs aren't voting here. I suspect it's nationwide because the GOP sucks. It's the GOP right now is in disarray. A lot of people didn't believe me when I told you what's happening. I can see it. Remember, I talk to Republicans daily here in New York. I talk to them all the time. I see what's happening. And the more propaganda they throw at me, the more I know they're in trouble. Right? When I hear just talking points and propaganda, when I'm going, oh, okay, yeah, now I know they're in trouble. But when they're saying like real stuff, okay, they're in line. They're together. They're not right now. They're not. Space Jason says the diversity of views on the right is also an Achilles heel. You see this in every congressional hearing. The R's debate the issues while the D's are all in messing with their propaganda slop. You're not wrong. And again, here's the piece that your space you're totally on. The Democrats have an advantage. And that is Trump is in charge. Trump is a big personality, easy to love, easy to hate. They have jumped all over about the orange man bad. He's the uniter, right? Obama was that way for Republicans. If you remember, Republicans did not like Obama, and Democrats do not like Trump. I mean, Trump's worse. Trump is a much bigger bad guy than Obama was, but Obama was their bad guy. But Trump's a much bigger orange man bad, way worse than that. So yeah, I think you're right. I agree completely, Space. You're right. By the way, that was over on Rumble, so just to make sure that was clear. That was Space over on Rumble. I appreciate that. So yes, okay. If I can grab here again. You guys going back and forth. I appreciate that. Adam says, Libertarian Party leadership likes to sit in their corner and scream, "Don't tread on me," while taking their ball and going home. Yes, remember, libertarians, and I mean LP libertarians, are far more concerned about virtue signaling than anything else. Will they sometimes be effective? Yeah, by mistake or just a secondary. But number one is virtue signaling. Everything else is secondary. That's how they run. So if I say, hey, I have a chance of victory. Yes, but did you say the appropriate words the appropriate way? I didn't. You suck. I'm not going to backstab you now. But wait, I could actually, no. You didn't say whatever. Taxation's theft last week when you were on TV. Therefore, you're evil. Therefore, knife in the back. That's how libertarians roll. That's the norm. So you should say, I expect that. I'm not even mad anymore. That's the way it is. I just expect it. I used to be really mad. Now, I don't. I expect it. I expect if I don't push the issue they decide is the number one issue whenever they decide it and say it the way that they want me to say it, knife in the back. Knife in the back. It's just how they roll. So, yes. All righty. Ryan says they always go too far one way or another, never fails. Yeah, sadly, he was right. I wish he was wrong, but yes. So, Ryan says arrest the judges. Oh, God, that'd be nice. So nice. Maybe one day. We can hope. Ryan says the only Dem I will cheer for is the one that defeats Lindsey Graham. He needs to go. Nice. Agreed. Yes. But in theory, a Republican could in theory, right? How's he? I don't know how he does in primaries. Is anyone ever primary him? I don't know. But yeah, he raised a lot of money though. He does raise a lot of money. Absolutely. He does raise a lot of money. So, all right. Bronna says, if you sell out and abandon principle, I will abandon you. And that will prove my point. It's all FUBAR and not worth any time and energy. I agree with you, Bronner. I'm just open about this, right? If that was my goal, I would have done it already. I got offered it in 2018. I'm not even joking. I actually got offered to sell out earlier in 2016 during the Gary Johnson campaign, but that was a minor thing. It didn't start getting bigger until 2018. That's when it got bigger. So yeah. And there was some stuff that was shady too. Like we'll pay off all your debt, shit like that. There was some of that too. So yeah, of course. I mean, look, you're right, but I am still human. I still feel it. Do you think I'm not tempted? Of course I'm tempted. Of course I'm tempted. I'm a human being. I get tempted. Doesn't mean I have to act on it though, but I can be honest and tell you that I sometimes feel it. I sometimes feel, why am I doing this? Why, when I just sell, I make a ton of money and go off and do whatever I want? Move to whatever. Move to New Hampshire with a bunch of cash in my pocket and go restart someplace over there. I mean, could do it in theory, right? I just haven't. But I say it because it's real. So yes. Adam says, I called the Monroe County GOP and left them a harsh voice message. Thank you. I appreciate that. That works. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. All right. D says, I read those election rules. Seems like a bunch of horse crap rules to trip up people. Yes, it is true. Remember, no one else has to go through it but me. For those who don't know, Democrats don't do this. Republicans don't either. They're on because they say so. So yes, only I go through it. It's just me. So there we go. Christopher says RFK Jr. had trouble in New York. And I was like, he did. He got 145,000 signatures and still couldn't get in the ballot. So yeah, absolutely true. So Alexa says Nick is controlled opposition. That's good. Yes, that's good. All right. Ryan says, I would love to see Nick Fuentes versus Laura Loomer X feud. Ooh, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. They would yell and scream at each other. That'd be interesting. That would be. Yes. Yep. Adam says, Larry, I saw an interview you had a few years back, and they said Looking Out for Number One by Robert Ringer is a favorite book of yours. Is that true? It is. I came to libertarianism through Robert Ringer. Most people don't know that, right? Most people think you must have come to like Bastiat or no, Robert Ringer. Robert Ringer is actually an objectivist. He's actually not a libertarian. He's actually objectivist. But his ideas, there's a lot of overlap. They're not the same, but there's overlap between objectivists and libertarians. And he was my first mentor in the objectivist world. Why? For those who don't know, Robert Ringer, my day job is I'm a sales trainer. I'm a executive coach. I'm a business trainer, a business coach, teacher, teach at college. Like that's what I do for business, marketing, leadership, things like that. So with all those things that I do, one of the books I was reading to be better at that was books about Robert Ringer. Robert Ringer is an influence guru. So that's how I got a hold of this. True. Yes. So looking at number one. This other one is Action, Nothing Moves. Action, Nothing Moves until nothing happens until someone moves. I forgot. It's called Action. Another one he wrote was To Be or Not to Be Intimidated. So yes. It's another good, interesting he read. So a couple of those are pretty good. So yes. All righty. And walk down that road. I hope I answered your question, by the way. So yes. Okay. I'll grab that one. You guys going back and forth a lot, so I want to make sure I get some of these before I go. All right. Adam says, goes on to say, why does New York State allow only 37 days to get the signatures, not even one day before, or it's illegal? Yes, it's arbitrary. Adam, yes. I'm so glad you see these things. Why would a judge think it's okay? Right? Do you see my point? Why can't I start earlier? If I know when to run, why can't I start the year before? Why can't I? They just say this is the day. Why? Why is the signature not valid in February, but valid in March? Why? Because they say so. Ballots aren't printed until May. Why has that be done in April? Because they say so. It's literally just arbitrary. And not one fucking judge will stop this. It is literally arbitrary, Adam. You see it. This is Coke and Pepsi deciding what are the rules to put your soda on the supermarket shelf. That's what this is. And just like, that's fair. If it was, here's the worst part, Adam. If it was Coke and Pepsi, they would stop them. They would. If Coke and Pepsi together would tell everybody else, we're making rules. Anyone who wants to put soda on a shelf in a supermarket has to follow the rules that Coke and Pepsi make. A judge would go, that's completely wrong. That's a cartel system. No, we're not doing that. A judge would stop them. But as political parties, totally fine. Totally fine. You're correct. Totally fine. It is an embarrassment that we have this. It's an embarrassment that we have this. But we do. So, yes. And then my liberty says, blowing up property taxes should be a wake-up call for every New York State property owner. I bring this up almost every time I talk, and I still can't get one. And then why liberty? I can't get one, not one mainstream news organization in New York State to cover that. Not one. And I know them. I text them. I DM them on Twitter. Not one. Not one. Won't bring it up. Not one. And I thought it was, well, because, Larry, you're libertarian. Well, now I'm Republican. Didn't change. Did not change a thing. So Phil says, Lindsey Graham has a primary runoff. Oh, there we go. Okay, I thought so. I had a feeling. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Yes. I had a feeling. So, yes. All righty. Grab that one. There's so many of these. Okay. Keep going down here if I can. All right. Phil says, Hochul when Larry wins the primary. No, Maine's down drain. Correct. Literally. All that money in the garbage. Phil, why aren't they picking me? I'm going to give them a $5 million advantage. Doesn't matter. Yep. Doesn't matter. It's a problem. It drives me insane. They won't do it. So, yes. Lisa, did I miss the advocates plug? Oh, thank you for that. You did not miss the advocates plug. You did not. Because here it is right now. Guys, do me a favor. Theadvocates.org. The link that is actually in the description on Rumble and also on YouTube and also on Facebook. There's a link right there. Please click that link specifically. Head over to the advocates. Do me a favor. Take the world's smallest political quiz. But Larry, I've taken it before. Take it again. Just take it again. But here's what's an important point. I don't want you to just take it. That's nice. The most important piece here is not the taking of the test. Please do so. The number one piece is sharing it. That's the number one thing I'm asking you to do. It's free. It costs you nothing. It's free. It is a couple seconds. Go over to take the quiz. Pop on over there. Take that quiz. This is it right here. Look at this. It's just fast. 10 questions with a couple bonuses. That's all. Click calculate my results and share it. That's all I'm asking you to do. It's like 2 minutes and you're done. And it's free, supports the channel. Why? They're a sponsor for the show. So guys, please do me a favor. This is how fast it is. It's that easy. Please take the quiz. It's interesting too. It's interesting. Take the quiz, see where you stand, share it. If you want to give your email, you can. You don't have to. If you don't give your email, you still get the results, and you can still share it. If you give your email, you'll get a monthly email from about cool libertarian stuff, because they're a cool libertarian organization trying to get more people to understand you can govern yourself. It is possible, but people have to believe it. They have to feel it. They have to see it. This organization goes out of their way to make that happen. So please do that if you can. Check it out. They are a sponsor of the show. It's free. Click the specific link, though, that is in the description, because they know it came from me. So please click that link. Go over there and take care of that. They are a sponsor. Thank you guys so much. Theadvocates.org. Thank you, D. Appreciate that. That is amazing. So, Andrew, my friend, thank you. $20. Hey, Larry, not much comment tonight. Just keep up the good work, and I might take it to the meeting in Queens this weekend. You might make it. Thank you. Yes, I do have a meeting in Queens this weekend. He is correct. For those of you who did not know, I will be out and about this weekend. If you can come by, I'll be downstate this time, right? Usually I'm upstate. I will be downstate this weekend, right? Last weekend I was upstate, now I'm downstate. Saturday, March 21st, I will be on Staten Island at the West Shore Inn Steakhouse at 2 p.m. I'll be at Sherwood's Beer Garden at 6 p.m. in Larchmont, New York. Sunday, the 22nd, petitioning meeting, 9 a.m. at the Neptune Diner in Bayside, New York. That's Queens. We're heading to the neighborhood to get signatures. So if you can come on out, love to see you. If you can just come out and sign a petition, head on home if you want, or come out with us and help us out. Do it. I'd appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. So I appreciate that. Hopefully some of you guys can show up. That would be amazing. So, all righty. Let me walk down some more of this if I can. You guys are going back. I like you guys going back and forth. Andrew says, Ayn Rand is associated with the Libertarian Party and the broader movement. At least she's upfront about it. True, she did. Yes. Andrea says, I wish I could be a coach, but it's hard to motivate myself. That's actually funny. I like that. It's good. Yes. Yeah. Being a coach is challenging. D says, Andrea, I think Larry's calling as being a coach. Thank you. I appreciate that. There are many things I've enjoyed in life. Teaching is one of them I've enjoyed. Being a Marine, I enjoyed tremendously. And being a coach is also good too. I've liked all those things. So yes. Shelley says, the judges don't even let you speak on the topic in court. Shelley was there. Yes. Shelley was she was in the courtroom when they shut me down. They won't let me talk. I'm not joking. They just make up rules so that I cannot talk. That's true. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. 100% true. Thank you for that, Shelley. Shelley was there. Yes. And it says, but Larry, you are Royal RC Cola, which is far superior than Coca-Cola. Yes, but they're going to stop me anyway. So true. Phil says Dr. Pepper. Well, I'll take that. Either one. Andrew says, fun fact, RC Cola is a product of Dr. Pepper. Well, there we go. Yes. Ryan says, Larry, take it again. Yes. Take it again. Yes. One more time. It does matter. I appreciate that. Completely. Yes. All righty. I do appreciate that piece. Guys, I'm going to ask you if I could. I know I've asked you a couple times. I want to ask you one more time if I could. Please click the like button. Click the button known as Lima India Kilo Echo. It does matter. Every time you click it, it does matter. Share this someplace. Share this on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Put this into a Facebook group. Put this someplace if you want to. Please do that. Also, if you have not subscribed or following the channel or page you're watching on, please do so. Every single time it does matter. You know I'm getting hammered in the algorithms. They don't want me to grow. You can see it. I'm trying my damnedest to make this happen. I've got to split it because of my run. It is a problem. So please help out if you can. It is free. And of course, once this is over, please comment afterwards. After it's over, come back on a comment. They like to add the extra comments if you can. So please comment afterwards if you would, once this is over. And please, I'm going to ask you, what makes you excited to vote? What makes you, if anything, if not, you can say nothing, but if something does, what makes you excited to vote? Please put on there what makes you excited to vote, if anything. And if you're watching this and it's not live, you may see a couple videos pop up. Please watch one of them right away. You know who loves that? Mr. Rhythm, Al Go Rhythm. I'll see you all very soon.